Clio Cup Series, race number 2 about to get underway here in Hockenheim. It is the third meeting of the year for the 2024 Clio Cup Series. And coming from the Hockenheim circuit, we have 42 of these 5th generation Renault Clio Cup cars ready to do battle for another 25-minute plus 1 lap race. Yesterday it was the triumph of Rangoni Corsa, once again leading a 1-2 finish, but this time it was led by Gabriele Torelli over his teammate Anthony Gerardo for his first victory of the season. Torelli starts today's race from second. It's Guillaume Mao on the front row of the grid with him. Let's take a look at the grid. It's Guillaume Mao on pole position, the Nogaro Race 2 winner, and then Gabriele Torelli second in the championship and yesterday's race winner. Championship leader Anthony Gerardo starting in third alongside the reigning champion David Pouget, with Nicolas Milan in fifth, and then Florian Venturi on junior class pole position in sixth, Lorenzo Van Rit in seventh, and then Alexander Finkelstein in eighth. Ninth is Pierre Bredoux and Adrian Schimpf on the fifth row of the grid. Then Michael Carey, that's the gentleman class pole, in 11th alongside Andreas Stuckey. Quento Stefana and Jack Byrne, the junior championship leader, ahead of Nikola Milkovic and Aurelian Rene. Thomas Campan and Benjamin Kovar make up row number 9. Alejandro Schimpf and then Nicola Tosic on row 10. Damiano Puccetti and Matthias Doll on row 11. Leonardo Arduini and Cedric Delcroix on row number 12. Stefan Polderman and Nuterik Knudsen on row 13. Then Jaroslav Honslik, or Jardier as you may know him, Samuel Chalin, Daniel Nefella and Steve Campan in the top 30. Horn and Calvin Comte ahead of Roman Lavacat and Michel Fay. Nava and Jean-Louis Carponchin in up to 36th, and then Remy Belleville, Melan Popovic, Felix Heiberg and Udo Brunner complete the order. So we've lost 2 cars from yesterday's running, with the formation lap about to get underway for race number 2, another 25-minute plus 1 lap race, and it will be the bright orange number 99 car that will lead them away of Guillaume Mao, our Nogaro Race 2 winner. That fantastic photo finish against Nicolas Milan, separated by just 45 thousandths of a second, were those two in that race. Of course, Guillaume Mao also on the Challenger class pole position as well. But the 2 Rangoni Corsa teammates starting next to each other once again. Gabriele Torelli ahead of Anthony Gerardo. They've had 3 1-2 finishes so far this year, 2 of them led by Gerardo, our championship leader. And for the first time yesterday, it was Gabriele Torelli for his first victory of the season. Going into the championship, into this race, it is still Gerardo leading Torelli in the championship, and still Jack Byrne leading the junior class standings. Guillaume Mao, the Challenge Championship leader as well, so obviously he's hoping to extend his advantage there. The different classes being for Junior Cup drivers, that's for drivers under the age of 23. The Challenger Cup for drivers aged 23 to 44 without sporting success, and then the Gentleman Cup for drivers aged 45 and over without sporting success. And, Gabriele Torelli, the first of our non-class drivers, the quote-unquote pro category, if you like. Of course, Torelli, the reigning Mid-Europe champion, and this is the first meeting of the season for the Mid-Europe runners. If you're new to Clio Cup racing, what we have is one European Championship, that's the Clio Cup Series, in addition to 4 regional championships, so that's Italia, France, España and Mid-Europe. So far this season we've had the France and España championships out in Nogaro and Portimao, and this weekend it is the France and Mid-Europe championships, first ones for them. We welcome the Spanish championship back in Misano next week, and then the first meeting of the season for the Italian championship as well, before we go on to Spa-Francorchamps, Magny-Cours, Barcelona, Le Castellet, before we end the season at Monza in October. And now here's an interesting one. Car number 10, which is the Mauro Polderman AST competition car, is under investigation for doing a practice start during the reconnaissance lap. Now that's something I haven't seen come up on a timing screen before, so we will keep an eye out on that. Mauro Polderman, the son of Stefan Polderman, who's racing in the gentleman class, youngest driver in the field, recovered from being rolled over in Portimao a couple of weeks ago in a very dramatic collision during the first race last time out in Portimao, but formation lap almost completed. Guillaume Mau leading them up to the last couple of corners. It is a standing start for the Unleash all 200 brake horsepower from that 1.3 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine through the Michelin tyres. It will be Guillaume Mau on the right-hand side as well. Look at it in that orange-fronted number 99 car, and then Gabriele Torelli in the white, red and black Rangoni Corsa car, with his teammates starting alongside him, and then David Pouget in that familiar white and yellow number 1 machine from GPA Racing, and Nicola Milan in the Castrol coloured car as well in 5th position, number 48. Man with so much experience, so much success in Clio Cup Racing, titles in France, Spain, Europe and the Clio Cup Series as well, but yet to get off the mark in terms of a win so far this season. Most unusual. Now, it takes a while to get the grid formed up. So many cars here that they're lining up around the last 2 corners. So difficult start for those at the back. But the car number 99 on pole position on the right-hand side as we look at it. Gabriele Torelli, yesterday's race winner, starting alongside him. And then our championship leader, Anthony Gerardo, starting alongside David Pouget on the second row of the grid, the reigning champion there. Watch out for Florian Venturi in the 158 car. He is the junior class pole sitter as well. And just see out the commentary box that the last car, the 40th and final car, is in position. We have the green flag waved at the back. Engine notes rise, and we get the last race of the weekend for the Clio Cup Series in Hockenheim underway, and not a great start seemingly made by Torelli from the front row of the grid. David Pouget at risk of getting squeezed out there. One wing mirror is the casualty that bounces across the track. It's a very good start for pole sitter Guillaume Mau, though. A couple of cars bumping and shuffling through the Nord curve at the first time of asking, but it's Mau who leads, and it is David Pouget in second place. Anthony Gerardo coming up on the outside of his teammate for third position. The 2 Rangoni Corsa cars side by side through turn number 2. Everyone else making their way through very calmly and neatly indeed, still side by side for third place. Coming down the Parabolica for the first time of asking. If Torelli can hold the advantage, then he will have the inside line going down into the hairpin for the first time. Still, there's no break in the field. Look at that flurry of Clio Cup cars. Absolutely fantastic. Guillaume Mau with a nice lead going into the hairpin. Pouget second. And then on the inside there, Torelli should be able to hang on to third position ahead of Gerardo. But still, there's no give in that fight at all, as Gerardo is still on the outside line there and going to try and brave it out around the outside of turn number 7. Nicola Milan waiting in the wings there to try and pick up any pieces that may fall from this. And Gerardo now on the inside manages to take third position away as Gabriele Torelli gets pushed out a little wide there. Nicola Milan trying to find his way through as well, and down the outside as well. And that is Florian Venturi alongside them as well in 158. Classic Clio Cup Racing. Car number 20 under investigation for a jump start. Further back, Nicola Milan getting squeezed out onto the grass and still trying to get this move done on Gabriele Torelli, yesterday's race winner, who's at risk of being plummeted down to 5th position after a very difficult first lap for the Italian. Still there side by side though, and you see the remnants of his left wing mirror there after that contact with David Pouget, squeezing his way through between the 2 teammates on the opening lap. So to complete the first lap, and correction, there is car number 21 under investigation. That's Stefan Polderman for a jump start, but it's Guillaume Mau who leads, David Pouget by half a second, Anthony Gerardo third, Gabriele Torelli fourth, Nicola Milan fifth, Florian Venturi still holding the junior class lead in sixth, ahead of Alexander Finkelstein, Adrian Schimpf, Lorenzo Van Riet and Jack Byrne in the top 10. And that's Adrian Schimpf on the inside there of Jack Byrne. Jack Byrne trying to make up ground. He's got past Lorenzo Van Riet and into 9th position. And now this is suddenly for the lead of the race. It was 1.1 seconds was Mau's advantage this time a lap ago. It is absolutely nothing now, as Mau recognises he needs to defend, but Pouget's found himself the inside line anyway. And Pouget down the inside into turn 6. Pouget runs out of the way, runs himself out wide as well. A few other cars do so as well. Nicola Milan and Gabriele Torelli still tussling, still side by side for the lead though, as Pouget on the inside line through turn number 7. Guillermo will hold the inside line into turn number 8. Absolutely nothing separating them this time. Pouget is the one who gets pushed out wide. Can't break these two cars for nothing, can you? Still, Guillermo will not take this line down. Bounces over the curb on the exit of turn number 10. Now coming into the Mobile 1 curve, and Pouget finally gets the move done. That started about half a lap ago. And David Pouget into the lead of the race. Pouget, another driver yet to get off the mark in terms of race wins so far this season. And Gerardo getting into the side there of Guillermo and pushes Mao out wide. And Gerardo, well, I thought for a second there he was going to take second place. But Guillermo standing his ground there on the inside through the little kinks in the stadium section, and Gerardo unable to take second place away from our Nagaro Race 2 winner. Now side by side again, Gerardo with a great run off the final corner on the inside of the Nord curve. Gerardo, our championship leader, takes second place. Torelli trying to take advantage of that as well with Mao slow off the first corner. And it looks like Torelli now into third position on the inside here at turn number 2. Mao slots back into fourth ahead of Nicola Milan. And obviously Adrian Schimpf has taken the junior class lead away from Florian Venturi as well in 6th position, just behind this pack of 4 cars that are currently squabbling over second place. And Mao trying to come back at the 2 Rangoni cars now, so Gerardo tight to the inside, as is Torelli. Nicola Milan at the back of that queue, and the Castrol car trying to pick off any pieces. Mao trying to get around the outside. They're bumping bumpers front to rear. And Mao kicks up a little bit of dust on the exit of the corner. Might have just drawn an overlap here with Gabriele Torelli. In fact, he has round the outside at turn number 7. Junior class leaders side by side there as well, but Guillermo on the inside into turn number 8. Can he take that third position back again? Got 10 seconds for Stefan Polderman as, whoa, contact there between Guillermo and Gabriele Torelli. He was already up on 2 wheels there through turn number 10. Nicola Milan trying to come through, takes both of them into the Mobile 1 curve, and Nicola Milan now finds himself in third position in the Milan competition car. Oh, contact here coming into the sacked curve. That looked like Florian Venturi, who was getting pushed out wide there. Already lost the junior class lead and now finding himself sideways going into the Sachs curve. Bit of smoke flying up a little bit further back. As we see Florian Venturi again getting the back end sliding, but plants the right foot down and delivers the power back to the front wheels. So Pouget's advantage, 1.2 seconds, just on the fastest lap of the race at 2:01.720. And pulling a nice advantage over Anthony Gerardo, who in turn is 1.5 seconds clear of Nicola Milan, leading that squabble for third position. Jack Byrne here, the junior class leader in 86, that blue and white car. Oh, we've got 58 parked up. That's Pierre Bredoux from Compt Racing. He's parked up, and that looks to be in the stadium section. In fact, it's slap bang on the apex of turn number 14. Now, will we need a safety car for that? That is the question. It looks like there was some damage to the front right corner there, and we do have a safety car out. Safety car has been called, so that will eradicate Pouget's nice advantage. Pierre Bredoux out of the car. Just looking for directions back to where he's supposed to be going. So we are now under safety car conditions with 17.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go in the second race of the weekend for the Clio Cup Series in Hockenheim. David Pouget leads Anthony Gerardo, Nicola Milan in third, Gabriele Torelli in fourth, Guillermo still holding the challenger class lead, having been shuffled back a little bit, but he's there in fifth ahead of the junior class leader Adrian Schimpf, Alexander Finkelstein in seventh, Lorenzo Van Riet in eighth, Florian Venturi settling into ninth after getting shuffled back a little bit there, Andreas Stucki in the top 10. Gentleman class lead currently being held by yesterday's class winner, Michael Carey, in car number 7. The boss of the T2CM team, and multiple Gentleman Cup champion in the French Championship is Carey. For anyone looking for an update on Jardier, the sim racer, he's there in 28th position at the moment in his number 39 machine. Made his debut in the Clio Cup yesterday with a top 25 finish. Did the sim racer, the BMW 130i champion back in 2006 as well. So under safety car conditions, the car in question of Pierre Bredoux has been cleared in that stadium section, so hopefully that means we'll be getting back underway shortly. And Anthony Gerardo, the former Clio Cup Europe champion, will attempt to wrestle the lead back from David Pouget. It would have been hard. It's confirmation safety car is coming in this lap. And so yeah, Gerardo will be hoping to get a launch on David Pouget, who is yet to take a win so far this season. He's had a best finish of 3rd. He's had 3 third-place finishes, all of them in race 1 of the meetings so far in Nogaro, Portimao, and yesterday. But, hasn't finished higher than that, despite fighting consistently up at the front of the field. Confirmation at the bottom of the screen, safety car will be in this lap. So David Pouget, the 45-year-old from Albi, France, will lead the field away. Of course, not just in Clios where Pouget's had his success, the Peugeot 207 Cup Championship, the 208 Cup Championship, the RCZ French Championship as well. He's won all of those before moving into Clio Cup racing, where he's won titles in the series, in Europe, France, and in Spain as well. But Pouget now letting the safety car go to get this race back underway with around 14 minutes plus 1 lap left to run. Still see the damage. I hope nobody tries to pass him on his right-hand side, because that mirror's been pushed in after he tried to squeeze through that gap at the start of the race. Pouget leaving it very late to get this race back underway again, but he does now put his foot to the floor. We are back racing once again in Hockenheim for race 2 in the Clio Cup Series. Cars fanning out behind Pouget there to try and find a way through into the Nord curve. So Alexander Finkelstein looking particularly racy down into turn 1, but Pouget recognises the attack from Gerardo is coming. They go side by side into turn number 2. No way through there for Anthony Gerardo, but if he gets the line right through the next 2 left-handers, then he will have a fantastic run down the Parabolica. Surely Pouget will just hug the right-hand side of the track as Gerardo, the championship leader, is almost pushing Pouget along down this back straight. Coming up towards the hairpin once again, and no move being made there by Gerardo. Nicolas Milan looking quite racy and bumps wheels there with Gerardo as he tries to get round the outside, runs off the circuit and comes back level by the looks of it with Anthony Gerardo. And now Milan is going to find his way around the outside into turn number 7. He's just got half a car length ahead before they hit the braking zone at turn number 8. And yes, down the inside here. So Nicolas Milan up into 2nd position on the restart. This is great news for David Pouget, who's starting to build a little bit of an advantage up at the front. So Milan up into 2nd, Gerardo down to 3rd. Torelli still waiting in the wings there in 4th position, ahead of Guillaume Mau, and then Adrian Schimpf, part of this lead battle there as well. So we see Schimpf's twin brother there in 199 as well. Both competing inside the top 13 at the moment. So there's Milan, the Castrol car, number 48 from Milan competition. Was his own mechanic in Portimao during the red flag as he fixed damage on his car Well, we had a stoppage last time out in Portimao. No such dramas here this weekend. So Pouget's advantage, 1.1 seconds at the end of the first lap after this safety car restart. See, Tirelli with the left-hand side mirror damage as well. I hope nobody tries to pass him on the left-hand side. Pouget locking his brakes, going down into turn number 2. Great fight further down the order there as the 35 of Thomas Campan and that purple machine leading that second train of cars that is 11th position down, leading Aurélien René and Jack Byrne in that battle. The battle for second place coming back down towards the hairpin. Anthony Gerardo trying to take second place back again. Tried to find the inside but couldn't quite get there. So Milan holds on. Milan again running very, very wide on the exit of the hairpin, as was race leader David Pouget. 3 wide on the exit of the hairpin further back there as well. There's Guillaume Mao coming under increasing pressure from the junior class leader Adrian Schimpf. And Schimpf coming down the inside into turn number 8. That is for 5th position overall. And trying to come through there is Alexander Finkelstein in 23, the green-nosed white car as well. And might just be able to out-drag Mao by the time they get down to the Mobile 1 curve. No, Mao stands his ground and hangs on to 6th position ahead of Finkelstein. But that has rather detached them from the second place battle of Milan, Gerardo and Tirelli. Andreas Stucki there, second of the Challenger runners in car number 9. We could just see there ahead of Lorenzo Van Riet and Florian Venturi. This is that battle there for 8th position. And second and third of the Challenger runners. Oh, Milan didn't seem to get a very good exit there out of the final corner. Gerardo fancied a run here, but no way through on the inside. Gabriele Tirelli now fancies getting past his teammate. Gave Gerardo a little helpful nudge out of the Nord curve. Pulls to the right-hand side, but no way through. Going into turn number 2. Got less than 10 minutes plus 1 lap remaining, and the incident between Guillaume Mao and Alexander Finkelstein is under investigation. So it might have been the one we saw earlier on into the Sachs curve. Pouget looking very comfortable now out in the front of the field. 1.5 seconds clear, just on the fastest lap of the race once again, a 2:01.224. As down on the inside, Anthony Gerardo trying to take second place back from Nicolas Milan. They both run wide. But that is Anthony Gerardo, the championship leader, back up into second place. And that moment for Milan has allowed Gabriele Tirelli to try and draw alongside as well. They're going to bang wheels going through turn number 7. Tirelli up on 2 wheels as well, trying to gather the car up in the braking zone, but Milan stands his ground on the inside into turn number 8, and the Milan competition car does just stay in front of yesterday's race winner. But not for lack of trying, as Tirelli tries to get the momentum down this short straight towards the Mobile 1 curve. Still nothing separating those 3 cars, just around half a second between the trio. There's still a second clear of Adrian Schimpf and Guillaume Mao battling behind them. So Gerardo now back up into second position. Milan in a Rangoni Corsa sandwich as it stands. As the battle between Adrian Schimpf, Guillaume Mao and Alexander Finkelstein continues to rage on. And then another trio of cars, which is Andreas Stucki, Lorenzo Van Riet, and parked up here, that's Matthias Dahl in the 112 machine. That has parked up now. Is that at the exit of the hairpin, I wonder? Milan under pressure again here. Tirelli trying to find the inside line into turn number 2. Switches for the outside. And tries to get the old up and under. Another helpful nudge there from Tirelli. So he waits for Milan to pick up the pace out of the corner. But Milan is looking very good here for a move back on second place. So Gerardo's going to have to get his elbows out to try and hang on to this spot. All this squabbling is allowing Pouget to get away. He's now 2 seconds clear at the front of the field. So Gerardo on the inside, Milan to the outside in the green Castrol car. Towards the hairpin we go. And this is the move that Gerardo put on Milan a lap ago. Milan trying to return the serve, but Gerardo shows him the runoff area and hangs on to second position. This has allowed Adrian Schimpf to close in, and Guillaume Mau and Alexander Finkelstein not too far away from that trio of cars now squabbling for second position. Gerardo again having to defend. Milan runs out wide at turn number 8. Is that an opportunity there for Torelli? He tries to go around the outside here, and a great move done here by Gabriele Torelli to try and take third position back as they're weaving from side to side, and the Rangoni Corsa car is through into third position ahead of Nicola Milan, and arriving on the scene now is Adrian Schimpf, Guillaume Mayer, but Milan trying to come back around the outside into the Sachs curve. That'd be very brave indeed if he managed to pull that off. Well, he certainly gave it a go, couldn't make it work, and Schimpf, Mau and Finkelstein now right in the thick of this as well. In fact, Mau's lost out to Finkelstein there, so Finkelstein up into 6th position. And yeah, Finkelstein there in the white and green car. That is the penultimate car in this queue ahead of the orange-nosed Mau car. Once again, fantastic racing in the Clio Cup Series, all competing for part of the €270,000 prize fund that also includes a test in the Alpine A110 Cup. All of the Alpine Elf Series races will be competing alongside the Clio Cup this year. So this is spread out a little bit now after all that squabbling. So Gerardo second, Torelli now third, and Nicola Milan having to look over his shoulder here as Alexander Finkelstein having to defend against Guillaume Mau for 6th position going into the hairpin. You see the 23 car, the white and green machine, just being able to stay ahead. The GPA Racing driver ahead of the GM Sport car. Guillaume Mau's own team there, as it is for Nicola Milan. Further back, we've got the 107 machine, Lorenzo Van Riet, going side by side with Thomas Campan. That is a challenger car versus a junior class car, squabbling into turn number 8. Closing up again for second place here with 4 minutes or so plus 1 lap left, as Torelli and Milan closing in on Gerardo. Pouget's advantage now 3 seconds, while these guys are fighting over second place and costing themselves time. See them cocking their wheels as they come through these final couple of corners. Back rear wheel in the air. So that battle for second place, only 0.6 of a second separating those 3 cars when they went over the timing line. There's 4 minutes plus a lap to go now. Still it is Gerardo, the championship leader, that is hanging on to the second place, and it would be 2 second place finishes for Gerardo if he were to finish like this, and back ahead of his teammate who led the team's 1-2 finish, the 3rd one of the season for the Rangoni team. Well clear in the team's championship now is the squad, but Nicola Milan trying to find his way through as well. So Gerardo going right up to the edge of the track, and Milan to the outside of Torelli. 3 wide on the entry into the hairpin, each trying to get the up and under on the other, but nothing doing in terms of position changes in the end. It's Adrian Schimpf and Guillaume Mau now back up into 6th position. Oh, no, sorry, still behind Alexander Finkelstein there. Couldn't quite see Finkelstein's car there. As Florian Venturi has got Lorenzo Van Riet for close company coming into turn number 8. And that is for 9th position. That's Venturi just getting ahead of Van Riet. Again, a challenger class car versus a junior class car. Guillaume Mau, they're in 7th position. Ooh, a little wide there for Torelli as he came out of the Mobile 1 curve. Just dipped 2 wheels onto the grass after the curbing. He does like to take the grass. He was taking it a lot at turn 10 yesterday. Oh, big moment there for the number 43 machine. That's Damiano Puccetti. And another big moment here for one of the Milan competition cars. It is the 69 of Quinto Stefana. So this will likely be the penultimate lap of the race then, with less than 2 minutes or the maybe 3 laps to go. Gerardo tight to the inside in turn number 2. And still Tirelli trying to find his way through on his teammate. But he should have an excellent run here. In fact, he's already drawn a bit of an overlap by the time they get onto the Parabolica, and will have himself the inside line for good measure going into the hairpin. The two teammates side by side. Nicola Milan trying to throw his hat into the ring there as well. Gerardo is squeezing his teammate over to the curbing on the outside of the circuit, but it will be Tirelli with the inside line. Milan trying to make it 3 wide down the middle, and Gerardo loses 2 places there, but he tries to take one back on Milan on the exit of the corner. Out wide went Finkelstein and Mao behind them. Side by side between Milan and Gerardo for the last spot on the podium here. One of these 3 drivers is going to be disappointed not to end up on the rostrum at the end of this. Side by side through 7, Milan with the inside line for the next left-hander, and that is Nicola Milan up into 3rd position now. And Gerardo sliding his car through turn number 10 as well for good measure. No doubting who's winning this one. 4.6 seconds to the good now is Puget Tirelli in 2nd place. And now we've rejoined with Adrian Schimpf, Alexander Finkelstein and Guillaume Mao. This is now suddenly a 6-car scrap for 2nd place. And we will be going on to the last lap shortly. Clock is about to hit 0. And David Puget leading the field very comfortably and on course for his first victory of the season. Oh, a couple of cars running a little wide there between the last 2 corners. But we are now on the last lap. Puget leading by 4.3 seconds to Gabriele Tirelli. Nicola Milan in 3rd, Gerardo in 4th, Schimpf 5th, Finkelstein 6th, Mao in 7th. But that could all change on this final lap. Tirelli looking a bit more secure in 2nd place. The question is who's going to be joining on the podium. Milan made the move last time round. Gerardo will try and take it back again. But he doesn't look like he's in a position really to challenge by the time they get down into the hairpin. He's got to be more careful about what Adrian Schimpf behind him is going to be doing. Been an odd start to the season for David Puget, the man who won so many titles last year. He won the Series and the Europe and the French Championship last year, but yet to take a win so far. That looks like it is about to change. Still, this battle behind rages on. Milan running very, very wide on the exit of the hairpin, but still holding on to 3rd position ahead of Anthony Gerardo. And looks like it will stay that way. Oh, a little wide again, though, for Milan. That gives Gerardo some impetus. Closes right up again. This could come right down to the stadium section, or maybe even a drag towards the finish line. Milan knows about all that, having lost out to Guillaume Mao in Nogaro in the opening meeting of the season. Puget coming into the stadium section for the final time. Who's going to be joining him on the podium? Right now it's Tirelli and Milan. But for David Puget, the driver who won 3 titles in the Clio Cup Championships last year, suddenly this season was facing quite stiff competition. Only a best finish of 3rd going into this one, but nobody's been able to touch him once he hit the front. 4 seconds clear, and David Puget, for the first time this season, will be victorious in race number 2 in Hockenheim. Gabriele Tirelli, after victory yesterday, it is 2nd place for the Rangoni Corsa driver. Nicola Milan in the Milan competition car, 3rd, ahead of Anthony Gerardo. Adrian Schimpf takes the junior class honours in 5th position, and Guillaume Mao, the challenge class winner, as we got side by side across the line a little bit further back. And that was side by side between the 48 machine, not the 48 machine, sorry, the slightly further back. Nothing separating them. but up front it's all about David Pouget. Fantastic win for the Frenchman, who gets his championship challenge well and truly started now with victory today. I said he had 3 third-place finishes so far this season. Those were his only rostrum appearances. And now he will stand on the top step of the podium for the GPA racing team. And wow, once he got to the front, no one else could touch him. Drivers waving to the marshals, thanking them for their work. It's an appropriate time to thank the marshals for their work as well, because we cannot go racing without them. Did a fantastic job clearing up that car in a very short space of time. And you can see the damage there on the right-hand side from when he squeezed through the middle at the start. I'm sure he breathed in at that point. It was an absolutely fantastic launch off the line for Pouget from 4th on the grid. Here it is then. David Pouget takes his first victory of the season ahead of Gabriele Tirelli and Nicolas Milan. Anthony Gerardo in 4th. Adrian Schimpf taking the junior class honours in 5th position ahead of Alexander Finkelstein. And then Guillaume, the challenge class winner ahead of his class rival, Andreas Stuckey. Florian Venturi, 2nd of the junior runners. And then Lorenzo Van Riet completing the challenger podium. Thomas Campan and Leonardo Arduini completing the junior podium. Alejandro Schimpf, Nicolo Tosic and Damiano Puccetti inside the top 15. Jack Byrne, the junior championship leader, down in 16th. Nikola Milkovic and Michael Carey, back-to-back gentleman class victories for him. Aurélien René and Mauro Polderman inside the top 20. Cedric Delcroix, Jardier 22nd. That's a better finish than he had yesterday. Benjamin Kova, Daniel Nefella in 24th. Calvin Comte, Quinto Stefana and Steve Compan. That's completing the gentleman class podium. Nutric Knudsen and Felix Heiberg in 29th. Samuel Chalin inside the top 30. Then it's Stefan Polderman, Michel Fay, Nava, Roman Lavacat, Horn, Jean-Louis Carponchin, Remy Belleville, Milan Popovic, and Udo Brunner seemingly having some problems there. We lost 2 cars in that race as well, as David Pouget back in Parc Fermé. Yes, yes, indeed. A long time coming for our reigning champion to stand on the top step of the podium. It was 3rd for Pouget yesterday. His third place finish of the season, but now it is the top step. First time he's been on the podium in both races as well this year. We had some difficult races in Nogaro and in Portimao. Gabriele Tirelli, yesterday's race winner, consolidating that with 2nd place, beating his teammate once again, his championship leading teammate there as well, and Nicolas Milan on the podium. It's a 4th podium finish of the season for Nicolas Milan. Missed out on it yesterday. Oh, look at that. Talking about the start there. How close it was between those 3 cars. Pouget apologising. I don't think he's got much to apologise for, really, especially if it led to that result. Pose for the photos. That'll be up on the Instagrams a little bit later, I'm sure. David just congratulating the other drivers. Let's have a look at highlights then. Not a great start for Tirelli from the front row of the grid, and David Pouget breathe in as he squeezed between the 2 Rangoni Corsa teammates. A couple of mirrors went flying. That was the only casualty, as he took 2nd place at the start of the race. Bit of shuffling a little bit further back. They had a bit of a moment here between Guillaume Mao and Anthony Gerardo. Going into the Sachs curve. Up on 2 wheels there was Tirelli as they fought. Later on, a little bit of a wheel bang. And then this moment down at the Sachs curve as well. We had the number 58 parked up. That was Pierre Bredoux. That led to a safety car. At which point Pouget was leading. He left it very, very late to get that safety car restart underway at which point he pulled away from Gerardo and Torelli. Great battle for second and third behind, though, as Milan and Torelli went side by side through the Sachs curve. Fantastic wheel-to-wheel racing, as always in the Clio Cup Series, where Adrian Schimpf and Alexander Finkelstein and Guillaume Mel were trying to throw their hat into the ring, unable to make any advantage in the end, as we went 3 wide into the hairpin with Nicola Milan, Torelli and Gerardo. All that allowed David Pouget to just breathe out front and build a nice 3.6 second lead in the end, and take his first victory of the season for GPA Racing, the reigning champion, back on the top step of the podium ahead of Gabriele Torelli and Nicola Milan. Yes, indeed. You can see that's a relief for David Pouget to finally get that weight off his shoulders of not having won a race this season. So at the podium now then for the Clio Cup Series race number 2 in Hockenheim. We will shortly have David Pouget, Gabriele Torelli and Nicola Milan up on the podium there. I'm sure along with the GPA representative as well. Just confirm the order in the other classes. Adrian Schimpf, Florian Vonturi and Thomas Campan in the junior category. Guillaume Mel, Andreas Stucki, Lorenzo Van Riet in the challenger classification. And Mikhail Carey taking the honours in the gentleman class as well. So different winners in the junior and challenger classification was Adrian Schimpf. Oh, sorry, excuse me, it was back-to-back victories for Adrian Schimpf in the junior class category. It's the challengers where we had Lorenzo Van Riet yesterday. But back-to-back second-place finishes in Class 4, Andreas Stucki there, but Guillaume Mel on top there. And of course, doing an awful lot for their individual championship challenge there as well. Of course, it's not just the regional series, each has their own sub-championships with the junior, challenger and gentleman class categories as well. And now we welcome the drivers to the podium. The third place trophy there for Nicola Milan, his 4th podium finish of the season, his second third place finish of the season after Portimao as well. Second for Gabriele Torelli, who takes his 4th podium finish of the season after victory yesterday. And David Pouget on the top step for the first time this season. He's joined by the GPA representative there as well. Collects the trophy. This will be a big weight off his shoulders to finally have that first win under his belt. And for him, it will be the French national anthem. Congratulations to David Pouget, the Champagne will wait, but that is all from the Clio Cup Series in Hockenheim. We're back out next weekend in Misano with the Spanish and Italian championships. We'll see you then.